Good afternoon and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmad Nawaz. You're watching us live on Pakistan TV from our Islamabad studios. A lot to talk about as the ICC Women's World Cup is underway in spectacular fashion. We're going to be talking about many games, but I think Australia have beaten New Zealand in a spectacular game itself. New Zealand were very, very disappointed, especially Sophie Devine, who said that I'll leave this 100 any day just to take victory. But elsewhere, Pakistan is in a lot of trouble as they start their opening campaign against Bangladesh. All the action live right now on PTV Sports HD. It's just been a magnificent spell of bowling by Bangladesh, who have utilized the conditions very well. And Pakistan, I think, were in trouble for it. Go Marufa Akhtar has been just superb. 20 years of age, 26 one-day internationals, 30 T20 internationals, and 20 wickets in each of them. The opening spell of bowling was just brilliant. I think this was the kind of pitch where you need to play 50 overs, not go after the ball. And despite a couple of partnerships in between, we've not been able to really get going. And I think that will really trouble Pakistan. The fact is that we kept on losing wickets at regular intervals as well. And I think that really troubled us. If you talk about the current scenario right now, then Pakistan, like I said, is in all sorts of trouble. They lost Sidra Amin, I think, which was the big blow to them as well. And so far, 124 for 9 with the 38th over now in play. They still have a chance. I think they've got about 6 overs. If they can probably get 40, 50 runs more, if that is possible, I still think Pakistan's bowlers have enough to win them the game because this is a kind of pitch where I think Diana Baig is going to be very, very effective if she bowls in the right channel. So we're going to be talking about that. There is swing on offer with the new ball. Then we talk about, like I said, the Australia-New Zealand game was also superb in itself as well. So we'll be talking about that in detail. But then terrific news for Pakistan. Saim Ayub makes it to the top of the all-rounders in the ICC rankings, and he's replaced and dethroned Hardik Pandya to reach that #1 spot. He's been disappointing with the bat, but with the ball, he's just been a very much of a utility player for Pakistan. So we talk about that as well. And then, of course, we talk about Pakistan's training camp that is underway for the Test series against South Africa. Especially Shan Masood seems to be very positive alongside the interim coach. We talk about Mr. Azhar Mahmood, who also has thrown a lot of weight behind his players that they will be performing well in this Test series. Only 2 Test matches, but I'm a big fan that I believe Rohil Nazir should be given a game. I think he's deserved that now. We've already wasted 2 years of his. But the fact is that when you look at the whole perspective of the game itself, Rohil has been performing consistently even in the last Shaheen's tour as well. So we'll talk a bit about that. And I probably believe that the spin mantra and the heaters and the fans are going to make a debut once again. So we're going to be talking about that in detail. Time now to introduce the guests. First of all, joining us in studios is sports expert Malik Usman. Ahmad. Good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us. Also joining us is sports expert Mr. Ali Mehdi. Good afternoon, Ali. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm very well.
Right. Let's, of course, Ali, start with you and discuss Pakistan's campaign, because I think this was the opener. And with the round-robin stage, you've got to play every side. Each game becomes important. And with Bangladesh, you really want to win this game, don't you? Yes, Ali Mehdi.
Yes, yeah. I completely agree. I think that this, first of all, that this Pakistan versus Bangladesh is our first match in this World Cup, and we have very high hopes. We're playing in Colombo, and it was Pakistan actually won the toss and decided to bat first. No hesitation over there because of the swinging conditions over here. So it was you had to actually win the toss and bat first. But the thing is, Pakistan got off to a really bad start. First over 2 for 2, and then after that, with the ball swinging, turning with swinging from one end to the other, it was always going to be very difficult. Not many partnerships at one stage. 6, I believe, about 6 for about 60 or something had fallen. So it was always going to be a very difficult challenge to play on this wicket. But look, right now Pakistan is about, I believe, 124 for 9, and still they're about another 12 overs. They've obviously got only one wicket in hand, but they've got to get as many runs as they can, because these are going to be bonus runs over here, because this is a very, very difficult wicket to bat on, and it's only going to get harder.
Well, Ali, I'm just going to interrupt you because we've been told they're 129 all out, so that means 130 runs for Bangladesh to win.
Well, 130, well, there you go, 130. Pakistan will have to bowl out of their skins, I think, because Bangladesh are a very good unit over here. They obviously have competed. They're going to fight for each and every run over here. But the thing with Diana Baig over there, with bowling, she's obviously going to get the ball to talk over there, to swing. So I think Pakistan has a good chance, but will need early wickets. Like the way the Bangladesh has dismantled the top order of the Pakistan's women cricket team, Pakistan need to do it. They have to get off to a fast start and make sure that they make inroads. Otherwise, it's going to be a very quick finish for the Bangladeshi. So hopefully we can get the job done. It's going to be a low-scoring affair, but it's very important that you start well.
Malik Usman, always great to see young talent on offer, whether it's men's cricket or women's cricket, specifically Marufa Akhtar, 20 years of age. What a phenomenal spell of bowling for the young Bangladeshi fast bowler.
Yeah, she started brilliantly. It's a dream come true for someone like Marufa, and she had Pakistan on the back foot from the very beginning itself. With Sidra departing for naught of just the first ball, I think Pakistan had a lot to cover after that, and they unfortunately could not do that. 129 all out. I was a bit surprised why Pakistan won the toss and chose to bat first. I think in this kind of challenging conditions, I am someone who opts to bowl first. You need to get the swing and the new ball talking, and with the spin quality that Pakistan have with the likes of Sandhu, and then you have Diana, you have really good bowling lineup, and you have Fatima Sana, not to forget that. But unfortunately, Pakistan just could not play out their overs. That was always on the cards. Now Bangladesh have 50 overs to get the score because Pakistan could not utilize their overs. They have fallen under par. That is what I think. But talking about Pakistan's quality of bowling, but there is also the weakness in Bangladeshi batting. I think that is their weakness. Their captain has already spoken about that in the press conference as well. I think the real game starts now, that Pakistan has to have these 2 points. Otherwise, they are already chasing the bus, because Pakistan had some really good chances in this World Cup. They had an excellent series against South Africa, and they actually hammered South Africa in the third one day, and they gave the run for the money in the first 2 one-days as well. So there were high hopes, and there were talks about Pakistan creating an upset or two, but I think they are already facing their faces down towards the mud, and they have a lot to do if they want to stay in this competition already. And we know that things can get very, very cheeky. We saw that yesterday as well, Australia versus New Zealand, and then India against Sri Lanka, where the underdogs really put up a fight against the big teams. Pakistan have their work cut out right now, but a couple of wickets early, and with the fragile batting lineup that Bangladesh have, I think Pakistan can still fancy their chances, because they also have excellent spinner in Sandhu.
Well, like we mentioned, Sidra has been brilliant. She got 200s, but had no answer to the sharp in-swing deliveries that we saw to the right-handers, and then of course to the left-handers. Marufa was taking the ball away. So traditionally, I think, Usman, would you also believe that, we probably failed to convert our mindset into 50-over cricket? Because this was the kind of pitch maybe where you didn't need 300 runs, but just play out the overs, simple as that.
First and foremost, when you have tricky wickets, you just don't know what is a good score is there on this pitch. If you get to bat first, but here Pakistan won the toss, they could have chased it easily. But now, because they batted first, they could have utilized the first couple of overs just to judge what kind of pitch this is, because certainly this is not a 300 pitch. It could have been 200, 225 kind of a pitch, but now 129, certainly this is not that kind of a pitch, and Pakistan have struggled their way through to 129, and once they had their best batters out very early in the innings with Muniba falling as the third player, I think Pakistan had their work cut out. It was always about completing the overs, that 50-over mark, and then see where they fall and how they are going to defend that total. But unfortunately, Pakistan just could not utilize those overs, and now they have their backs to the wall, and it's going to be very, very tough fight for them in the second session.
Well, I think I'm still very much hopeful. Like I said, Usman mentioned a couple of players. I think Sadia Iqbal in there, Nashra Sandhu, as he mentioned, and then Diana Beg's opening spell, I think, and Fatma Sana. I think she's going to be the key player here with the ball. If Fatma and Diana are able to extract the same swing in the very first couple of overs, then I think we really have this game in the bag. But Ali Mehdi, going deeper into the tournament, we can't expect to win every time scoring 130. If we're going to be up against India, Australia, New Zealand, England, then we have to realize 250 is the benchmark, or probably more if I'm wrong.
Look, Pakistan have gotten off to a very slow start over here. We couldn't have asked for a better team to play than Bangladesh. Probably the weakest team out of the lot. You have the big guns to play. You have the world champions to play Australia. You're going to play England. You're going to play New Zealand. We saw what New Zealand did to, how they played yesterday against Australia too. So you're going to come up against some big teams, some past world champions. So, you really need to step up your A game. If you're going to only post 129 against the likes of Bangladesh, then you're serious in for some trouble, because go further on, it's only going to get tougher and tougher and tougher. So, this is a wake-up call for Pakistan. Hopefully they'll bowl well. They'll probably make a match of this, and probably they could get the 2 points over here, because it's only going to get harder. I believe Pakistan are playing India. They're playing against India on Sunday, and then Australia, and then Sri Lanka. It's only going to get harder, and it's going to be a bit of a snowball effect. So hopefully, they will bowl well, but they've really got to figure their batting batting out. They're really going to work hard on their batting. Yes, they did very well against South Africa in conditions which suited them, in batting-friendly conditions too. But, you know, when you're coming and playing in foreign conditions, you have to adapt to those conditions. They've been there for a while. Really, I thought at the toss that, look, I understand that, you know, probably, you know, the bowling first was an option, but I think batting was right because you don't trust your batting that much. You don't trust in the chase. So that's why you wanted to put that score on the board so that you probably could defend it. But they really made a you know, fist of it. They really should have batted better. But anyways, you know, 129 on the board. They've got to defend it. Otherwise, I think it's.
But Ali Mehdi, when you're playing the first match in a tournament on a pitch where you're uncertain, probably bowl first.
Look, you can bowl first. You know, I think maybe it would be the right conditions, but then I think that management were a bit worried about chasing. I genuinely think that they don't trust their batting to actually chase a target. Look, you're playing against Bangladesh. You should trust your batting that you're going to chase this, you're going to bowl them out. It probably is mind-boggling in retrospect that why they didn't bowl first. But I can only see that probably they don't have that confidence in their batting of chasing. That's why they didn't do it. Otherwise, you know, these are very good bowling-friendly conditions. They should have probably taken that option. But anyways, you know, now we have to really look towards Diana Baig and also Fatma Sana to bowl well against the Bangladeshis and get quick wickets.
Well, certainly. That being said, I think Pakistan with 130 to defend have their work cut out. They've got to be spot on the field, and especially the way they bowl as well. But you can catch all the action live on PTV Sports HD, and we here at Pakistan TV will keep on updating you with the latest score and news and results as well at the same time of the ICC Women's World Cup 2025. Now, Malik Usman, we come to an interesting development. Saim Ayub, the #1 all-rounder in the world. What would you like to add?
See, an all-rounder has two roles to play, batting and bowling certainly, and we presume that Saim Ayub is just more of a batsman rather than a bowler. He's a part-timer, and now we can see that his bowling is no mug. He's no mug with the ball, and he has picked up 9 wickets, which has fetched him so many points. That means those were important wickets in important conditions of the game, and that is what has jumped him up to the pinnacle of T20 rankings, and displacing Muhammad Nabi and then Hardik Pandya from 1 to 2 and taking the top spot is a big deal actually. But why we are disappointed and we are not so happy about it is because as far as his batting is concerned, the main primary reason why he's in the side, he should be doing much more with his bat rather than with his ball, because sometimes the conditions are not going to be so friendly where his bowling will not come into the picture at all. But that is how it is. That means he's a great utility player, and this is a good news from if you see the other side of the coin, that you can get a couple of overs out of someone who's actually a batsman, and that is what he has done. He's putting up his hand up when it comes to bowling, and he is actually a very good batsman. Mind you, he has been out of form. This form comes and goes. It's part of the career of a cricketer, but surely sooner rather than later he's going to get back his runs which he has been demanding. But his bowling has come up trumps. That shows that he can be an international bowler, and that is good news and good omen for Pakistan for the future.
Usman, a former test cricketer, mentioned this, that, you know, his primary job is a batter, and if he's not performing there, it doesn't matter if he takes wickets. I had to say otherwise. I mentioned that, you know, the same former test cricketer once was struggling in South Africa with the bat, but he bowled well and kept his place in the side. So you would also believe that, you know, and to which he got a bit offended. But the fact is that, you know, players in the past have done this. If they've not batted well, they've bowled well. If they've not bowled well, they've batted well to keep their place in the side. Some have even gone to keep wickets to keep their place in the side. So if he's a utility player, there should be nothing wrong with this.
200% admitted. I completely agree with this. You need to have some role in the team, some performance in the team to stay in the side, and that is what Saim Ayub has done. Okay, we are disappointed because we wanted more runs from his bat. That did not come up, but that is okay. There are players who have been out of form for a very long time, but they still keep their place. I can give you an example. Virat Kohli is one of those, that he played for 5 years in test cricket, averaging mere 30, but he was still in the side because there was future, or there was a history behind his batting. That is what Saim Ayub can do. If you have a lot of trust in him and you see him as a future star, a future poster boy for Pakistan, then a couple of series is not going to damage him. More importantly, if he's contributing to the victories of the side, and he has picked up some major wickets. Mind you, it's not just about those 9 wickets that he has picked, that he has gone to the pinnacle of the T20 ranking, but the conditions in which he picked, the situation, the match situation, and the kind of time that it was, and the importance of those wickets, that actually fetches you more points, and that is the reason he has jumped to the pinnacle. So you shouldn't be putting a lot of pressure on one person that you have been expecting expecting a lot from him. There are 11 players who play a cricket match from one side. What are the other 10 were doing that nobody questions them? Either they are not that important or you don't expect anything from them. I think if you're talking or criticizing Saim Ayub, that means he still has a lot of importance in Pakistani cricketing circles. That actually is a positive thing to do. But sooner rather than later, he's going to score runs, that is for sure. But if you have got something out of him which he was not well known for, I think that is a major plus for him. A T20 all-rounder as a #1 ranked all-rounder cannot be in a Pakistan side. That is very surprising for me.
I'm just going to open a huge Pandora box if I say this, but I know Usman would agree that maybe some of them fear that he might be the next potential captain for Pakistan in limited overs cricket. So I mean that is something that, you know, that's how insecurities prevail, Usman. But that's my opinion. But I do see that happening one day or the other.
See, once a player gets so much propaganda or advertisement or promotion or lot talked about, the first thing that comes into the mind is not supporting him, but rather thinking him as a snake that he's going to fetch their places. But now it is not about his place, because most of the people know that he's going to be the future of Pakistan. But now there are talks about his captaincy. See, talking about Salman Ali Agha, we all knew from day one itself that he was not a T20 player by all means. He was not a batter, he was not a bowler. His captaincy is questionable because he has not been captaining any PSL team either. So there were no teams he was captaining which were playing on live camera. So there were no such pressure as far as his captaincy was concerned, but he was no good a T20 player either. But not if he's removed, and if you're talking about permanent T20 players for Pakistan, I think Saim Ayub is right at the very top. He's someone who's not going to get dropped even after this horrendous batting performances in Asia Cup. So this can be a question, and that certainly will be, because there are some so-called senior players who think that they can be in the Pakistan side and they can come straight into the side as captain of Pakistan team, because this is so mercurial, not just at the playing level but also at the board level, that anything can happen anytime in Pakistan cricket.
Well, certainly. On that note, we'd like to just take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to have Ali Mehdi realize the fact that maybe Saim Ayub can be the next skipper for Pakistan's limited over cricket, and Ali's also going to analyze his performance so far as an all-rounder and #1 all-rounder. Let me just correct myself as well. A short break, we'll be right back. Stay tuned. And welcome back. Now, of course, Ali Mehdi, your first analysis of Saim Ayub being crowned the #1 T20 international all-rounder.
Look, I'm going to take it as a positive, and the reason is that at least he's contributing on some front. I'd agree with Malik Usman bhai that, look, there are some players who are not contributing on any front. In fact, they're really hampering this cricket team, especially in the T20 format. They shouldn't even be there. But look, Saim Ayub, I know people have been criticizing him on the media. They've been going on. There's been a lot of hustle bustle. There's been a lot of noise about him. But look, at least he's doing something. He's contributing with the ball. He's done a lot with the ball. He was economical. Even in the final, he was very good. I actually feel that he should have, in that final, instead of Haris Rauf, he should have bowled. When the Indians were clearly targeting one bowler, you should have used him. You should have used somebody else. So it's really mind-boggling for me that people are really criticizing him. Look, we know he's a batsman, he's very talented. We cannot forget about 10, 11 months ago, he was in the form of his life, you know, hitting the South African bowlers, and, you know, he was the man of the series in that 50-over format. Even in Australia, he was phenomenal over there. So, look, it's bound to happen. He got that unfortunate injury. He hasn't batted well, but he will find form. He knows that this is a wake-up call for him. And in fact, I'm very happy that
but smart teams in the world have done this when they didn't even need to. I mean, we need to understand, you know, some former cricketers who are claiming that why was he bowled and not, you know, professional bowler. I mean, Australia, with the luxury of Mitchell Starc, Pat Cummins, Josh Hazlewood, still turn to Travis Head to bowl, and he performs well with the bat. He doesn't need to bowl.
Semi-final.
But they go for that, and he becomes a utility. England have gone with Liam Livingstone for quite a while. So smart teams around the world have done that, and they've been completely fine.
They've been completely fine. So you need to do that with Saim Ayub, and he's an integral part of our bowling order, of our bowling lineup now. You know, when you need to, in T20 format, when you need to make sure that no extra runs are scored and when you need wickets, he's over there. So he was very good throughout this T20, this Asia Cup. You know, he was doing very well with the ball. He was getting wickets. He was very economical. Even in the final, he was very good too. So I don't know what this noise is about it. I think it's a massive accomplishment being on top of Hardik Pandya over there, you know, even on top of Nabi to be number one. Yes, obviously, you know, you can't always perform on every front, but look at the positives over here. And I think it's a blessing in disguise for him that he's not in that test squad, you know, you were mentioning it. And the reason I say that, I've said it from before, he's not a test player. He should not be a part of that test team. He should focus on the white ball format. He should perform on the 20 T20 and on all the 50. His game is suited towards that. Work hard well on your batting. Your bowling is doing very well. And hopefully, once again, you know, he will start scoring runs again.
Well, now that, of course, brings us to Pakistan's test campaign that starts against South Africa. And of course, a lot is being said about the squad, and then the training session is still underway. But Shan Masood seems to be very confident. Malik Usman is back as the captain once again.
He is the Ali Baba of this cricketing world, isn't it? Khulja Zim, and there are a lot of treasures out there. Just in the previous season, we all were questioning that what was this all about, that until he remains captain. And he gets a very low category in the contract as well, and it showed that the PCB did not trusted him much. But certainly now he's the captain for this whole cycle of test cricket. This is amazing, let alone even he might stay captain for the next series. We just don't know. This is how Pakistan cricket functions. But I think it's a good omen. I actually like Shan Masood as a captain because what he wants to instill in this team is positive, and that is aggressive cricket. That is what we want to see. See, you have to play the right brand of cricket. Whether you win or you lose. If you are not following the right mantra, you are not going to be successful for a very long time. But if you are following the right mantra and you're not being successful down the road, you're certainly going to be successful, and that is going to be permanent as well. He is very aggressive as a captain. I actually like his captaincy. Secondly, talking about playing or batting aggressively, he sets the tone. He has been doing that consistently, 90, 100 strike rate, and he shows how the cricket should be played, what he actually wants from his batsmen to do. Although many of those don't follow the route, but I think this is going to be the mantra for Pakistan in this cycle, and they have some very good series coming up in this cycle as well. I think Pakistan has a good chance to go for the World Test Championship final as well. But I think they have actually worked out how they want the home conditions to be. That is a huge plus from the previous season, although they finished last. But before that, they were very, very confused at how they're going to play in the home conditions, and that was one of the reasons for their downfall as well. But at least they have sorted out one end of the spectrum. I think if they do well in the home series, I think that they have been doing reasonably well away from home, and they have been in winning position against Australia, as I spoke once, in all the 3 test matches. That is what the mental strength is all about. That is where they lose to Australia. If they can have that belief that they can win from any situation, and if that can be instilled in their mind, in their psychology, that Pakistan is going to play to win, and they are not there just to give a big surprise or give a run for the money to the opposition before ending up on the losing side and facing the inevitable. I think Pakistan has a good season to look forward to, with a good captain and with good a mindset as well.
Well, Usman, 2 returns that are being talked about much. One is Amir Jamal, one is Imamul Haq. How do you analyze them?
Not a huge fan of Imamul Haq. I just don't know why he's back in the side. There was a lot of hype about Imamul Haq's performance in the county circuit, but there were other Pakistanis who were performing really well as well. But they were not actually shown too much on media. So there is always this media mantra going on in Pakistan. And many a times I say that sometimes this Pakistani side is not selected by the selectors, but from the Pakistani media itself. So Imamul Haq was touted as, he's in the form of his life and he's going to change the history of the course of Pakistani history, and he's going to bring a lot of centuries runs to this Pakistan international side. I'm not so sure. And what he's lucky, and most of the time he's lucky about, whenever he makes a comeback, it is usually a home series, but against a weaker side as well. So he's in good form. He's coming against West Indies, against home conditions, which I think is going to suit him. But if Pakistan is going to get those turning pitches which we have been talking about, and not that batting paradise which he's accustomed to, I think is going to find it very, very hard, because him coming back into this Pakistan side, just now I was talking about the aggressive cricket that Shan Masood wants to play. He is not one of those brand ambassadors that is going to start from the ball one itself. But Pakistan has been struggling for the openers, and Abdullah Shafique has been struggling, Saim Ayub has been struggling, so his box has been opened, he has got that lucky box. But Shan Masood is going to be the other opener. I don't think that Imamul Haq is going to create those wonders he has been creating recently in England, but he has been back, and that is certainly not a surprise for me. Talking about Amir Jamal, he did not get a central contract. That was a huge surprise. I think he should always be in Pakistan's good books in the international arena. He's a good utility player. He can smack a few, and he's a good pace bowling all-rounder. If you're going to develop Fahim Ashraf, we know that he's not a great pace bowler, then why not invest in someone like Amir Jamal, who is a very good fielder as well, and he can smack a few with the bat, and he has a good pace to work with.
Well, I've got something very interesting to share with our viewers now, and then I'm sure that Usman and Ali are also going to be intrigued at this. I came across something very, very special, and we talk about young talent in Pakistan. I think there is just no stop to it, is it? And that's what's so heartening to see as a cricket fan. Just to take a look at this video and just look at some of the shots that this young girl is playing. And I think more than that, credit to her father, who is actually empowering her in this practice session as well, and making sure that she follows her dream as well. Usman, what would you like to add about this video?
Two things, that women can also do wonders for Pakistan, and more importantly, you can see the talent. Exquisite timing. Look at the shots, the shots, some of the shots even our international players don't play. Look at the confidence of this small kid, and she can certainly be one of the future for Pakistan. It's a good omen that we get to see these kind of videos, that how fathers are actually pushing the girls to work for Pakistan, to bring name to Pakistan, bring name to the family. The mantra or the talks or those kind of rumors that the women in Pakistan, the kids, females, don't get what they wish for in Pakistan is all fake, and we can see that. We can see from this video itself, this is some rural area. This is not Islamabad, Lahore, or Faisalabad or Karachi. This is from a rural area, and look how his father is actually bowling to his kid, and the kid is actually playing as if she's playing in the ground, and she's bringing out all the kind of shots in the cricketing books, and that is a good omen. It has actually brought a smile on my face as well, and it seems that the future of Pakistan women cricket is very bright.
Certainly. Ali Mehdi, what would you like to add about this video?
Well, actually, this video is a bit old. I saw it a few months ago, and I was actually startled when I saw it. It was quite amazing. You know, you see over there that cover drive, you know, that pull shot, and then obviously, you know, across mid-wicket, she's all got it. She's got all the shots in the book, and you know, even down. I mean, the footwork too, and you know, she's playing extremely aggressively too. It shows that, you know, when you're empowered by your parents, by your fathers, and whether it's a boy or girl, obviously the sky's the limit for her. And I do think that the future is very bright. I'm sure she'll be making her way into the Pakistan cricket team, and she's obviously going to, you know, her father will push her. Obviously, she's, you know, now she is a future superstar, and I do think that going forward, you know, we're going to see talent like that emerge through the ranks.
Well, obviously, and I think I've started following this young lady as well, and she's got so many videos of her where she's performing well. But just to give you an update, Bangladesh have started their chase against Pakistan in the ICC Women's World Cup, and of course the very first over is now in play. You can catch all the action live on PTV Sports. Pakistan TV will keep on updating you with all the results that you need to know as well, and all the updates. But we're still hoping for a Pakistan victory. Like I said, that I'm very, very confident as well, and a lot of you are writing to us on our social media handles as well, and I understand a couple of comments. Mr. Ali says that Pakistan's going to win. Mr. Umair says it's going to be tough. Bangladesh have got a quality batting lineup, so thank you very much for writing to us. That being said, before we go, we've got a special birthday wish to send out to Mr. Raja Umair Ali, who happens to be a very young fan. So a very happy birthday to you, Raja Umair Ali, from all of us here at Sports Extra and Pakistan TV. We're going to leave it at that. Thank you very much, Usman and Ali, for joining us. But from me and our entire team of Sports Extra, it's goodbye for now.